Hello and welcome to the print video. I am Sumi Sukanya Dutta and you are watching Health in You. So some of you may have heard about some states like Madhya Pradesh trying to introduce MBBS, which was later also tried to be replicated in some other states like Chhattisgarh, UP, Bihar, Rajasthan. But the response so far to this development has been poor. To understand everything around it, we have two very special guests with us today, Dr. Shivkumar Utture and Dr. Harjit Singh Bhatti. Dr. Utture has been associated with the National Medical Council in the past and has also been the president of the Maharashtra Medical Council. He's also an expert in medical education, has been with a medical college for a long time. He's also a well-known surgeon. Dr. Bhatti has been he's a geriatrician, of course, and has been associated with multiple doctors' organizations, especially the younger generation of doctors. So, really appreciate that both of you could take out time today and join us in this very interesting subject conversation. So, Dr. Uttere, we will start by asking you first. What do you think of this idea of starting MBBS in Hindi and probably in regional languages also later on?
Yeah, I think this was in way back in 22 that they had in the Madhya Pradesh for the first time they had announced that they would start with this, MBBS in Hindi language. Uh, what you have to understand as far as India is concerned, because what they gave the reasoning was that in Japan, in Germany, they are having it in their language. So why
Mm-hmm.
not over in China? They're having in their language. Why not here? What you have to understand, India is unique because we are multilinguistic. There
Right.
is no single language in every state, right?
Mhm.
So, whereas if you see both Germany or Japan, they have a single language, so everybody is exposed to that particular language. Not only that, what they have created is they have first introduced all the literature in their language and then introduced this, medical course in the local language. Here we are going the other way around. Here we are just, taking the medical books and translating it. And I would say this is not exactly translating, but if you see it, transliteration, it is, literally the words which are used in English are just copied the same way, but in the local Hindi language, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not an actual translation which is there. So that basically, the whole concept of having the local students, and especially their main aim was targeting the students from the villages, from the small towns, so that they would be having a easier time as far as going through the medical course is concerned. That is completely lost because the main words that are going to be there are going to be the English words, which is just that it is in the Devanagari script that they have converted it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that they have been a little bit too much in a hurry to try to introduce this, and I believe that is because the new NEP has come into existence, and they wanted to go according to that. But somewhere down the line, they have not taken into consideration all the stakeholders who are there, and a lot of other aspects also. I think we'll come to that afterwards. So maybe it is the concept may be quite good, but the way it is implemented is not that proper as far as the today's India scenario is concerned.
Yeah. Very insightful points there. Dr. Bhatti, could you please share your thoughts as well on this?
Yes, first of all, we have to understand that medicine is a universal language, which means that it is not only English. Medicine is a mixture of multiple languages, means it has Greek, Latin, it has even Sanskrit words, Persian, Arabic, and so on. There are so many languages. They
Mhm.
compile together to become a medicine. So first and foremost, that if you are saying that we are not accepting English and we are going into Hindi. So Hindi itself, there are some words which is already there in the medical curriculum. Second important factor is that obviously English is also a universal language. So English, it is no longer a language of Britishers now. It is a universal language. It is a way of communication with the world. So
Mhm.
once when you're saying that we are taking that opportunity from you, that we are not providing you that opportunity with learning English, this means you are uh, restricting them to a particular area or to a particular location. And third important factor is that medicine, specifically modern medicine, that evidence-based medicine which we practice, the curriculum of this practice is not fixed, because every day evidences changes, every day new science comes, and
Mm-hmm.
when the new science comes, new evidences come, a new curriculum is formed.
Right.
And from where did that new science come? That new science can come from any area, from anywhere around the world. And what will be the language of that science? Most of the research, most of the journals, what will the language? The language will be English. So if I am teaching someone in Hindi, but let's say that a science something changes now, so how will they communicate with them? So there are so many problems. That's why the people are going. So that's why even these courses are started. This course was started in Madhya Pradesh. I did my MBBS from Madhya Pradesh, and I can understand very well that in Madhya Pradesh there are many students comes from like Adivasi backgrounds. They
Mm-hmm.
come from Dalit backgrounds, so there is a large proportion of them, and I studied with them, and I have seen that they had a very much difficulty to understand English. And I have also seen that they literally put their everything into that just to understand few things of medicines. And one of my friend was a very close friend of mine, he was from Jhabua, he is also from a Adivasi background, and he literally translated the whole Harrison is a textbook of medicine. He literally translated each and every word from English to Hindi.
Mm-hmm.
But that initial, we can say that the initial difficulties which they have faced at that time after MBBS, they are very young. After 12th, when they enter MBBS, they are very young. Their cognitive abilities are very good. At that time, they face that resistance. They face that difficulty to just learn a new language. But after that initial phase of learning that English and all that thing, after learning that, now I am seeing that they are doing so much. One of my friend, they are settled in America, one of them are in London, even in India they are renowned doctors of great caliber. But if the government or the concept has restricted them to certain local areas, then they might never be able to come out of it. So I think by seeing all these things, that's why we are seeing such a low or not very good response from these concepts.
Yeah. So very interesting thoughts there. You're saying that this is, while this is a medium and some people can actually struggle with this medium, it helps in the long run to understand things in English because it opens up the world and opportunities for
Yes,
doctors.
yes,
So they shouldn't be restricted there. But I was talking to a senior NMC person this morning for, I'm also doing a tech story on this, and in context of that, I was talking to this person and he told me that data suggests that 60% of about 60% of the doctors who study MBBS from a certain state actually do not go out of the state and they end up practicing there. So this initiative of giving an option to these students can actually be helpful. Now, Dr. Utture, would you like to share your views on this? What do you feel about this argument?
Yeah, I agree with that, that 60% may be staying in the state. But what you have to understand, and what Dr. Bhatti has pointed out, is that when you are young, you can easily adapt to a new language. So
Right.
youngsters can take up that language. Imagine at the age of 35, 40, when I go outside and practice. At that
Mm-hmm.
time, if you ask me to, learn all these terminologies in English, it's going to be extremely difficult because by that time our mindset is completely different. Another thing you have to understand is you are restricting these, the very fact that you're asking them to do it in the local language. You are restricting these doctors to your state only. So tomorrow I may start my practice, say I'm in Maharashtra, but tomorrow if I want to go out of Maharashtra, I want to go to Western countries to learn some other research or anything. What am I going to do? Because I'm going to be like a fish out of water over there because everything over there is in English, especially when research papers you do, all the research papers, 9 out of 10 research papers even today in the world are in English. So even if you want to become a teacher tomorrow, you are supposed, as per the NMC norms, you are supposed to, do some research work also and
Mhm.
publish some publications. How and where are you going to? Are there any Hindi publications anywhere available now at present? Hindi journals or anything in medicine? I don't think, at least not that I am aware of. So what it basically happens is, you're put in a silos. You say that because 60%, so we see to it that 100% will be, in that state itself. Then suppose I want, because India is a huge country, I want to go and practice, suppose in the south, in Kerala, and I am from the north, and I have done my whole studies in Hindi. Even if I have to go for my postgraduate studies or super specialty studies or some extra training I want to take, then I will, at that stage, I will have to learn that local language if I want to, join that system.
Yeah, fair enough. Yes.
And what we have seen also in Madhya Pradesh, though 30% of the people opted for the local language, how many went ahead and gave the exam in the local language?
That
Zero.
is,
None
yes.
of them gave the exam in the local language, though they opted for, the studies in the. So they also adapted and they saw to it, and the students themselves also found that it is always better to do it in English than in the local language.
Yeah. Yeah. Very important points there again. So, one of the arguments which is being given in the favor of introducing MBBS in Hindi is also that it will help doctors interact with the patients in a better way, because in their conversations sometimes doctors use the terminology which is not patients are not very comfortable with. So if they are taught in that language and they learn in that language, they can probably communicate with the patients in a better way. Do you agree, Dr. Bhatti, on this point?
I think there are two aspects of medical practice. The one aspect is the science of medicine, which the doctor consumes, means the doctor understand by themselves. Second
Yeah.
thing is the doctor patient communication or doctor
Hmm.
patient relationship, doctor patient's communication, which we have to convey in a local language. So these are two things.
Hmm.
When it comes to at a level of a doctor, the doctor must be taught in a universal language. So he must not be taught in a local language. He must be taught in a universal language which is acceptable all over the world, because doctor has to take information from all over the world. It is
Hmm.
not only from a local area. When it comes to a doctor patient communication, obviously a local language is best without any doubt, because we have to explain the patient everything, their problems, their treatment effect, side effect, everything. But now the cost and the data already says, which is in favor of this, that 60% of the doctors go back to their local areas and they work in their local areas. And I have seen many brilliant doctors who are from South India. They were with me, they are doing their MD DM in AIMS with me, and after that now they are settled in Chennai, in Hyderabad, in Bangalore, or somewhere in south. They are working very well there, and they are good with their own local people. But the important factor is that India has so many different languages with so many different dialects, that even if we say that you have imposed an a Hindi into Madhya Pradesh, but even the Madhya Pradesh itself has so many dialects. I have worked in. I did my MBBS from Jabalpur. Jabalpur dialect was different. Their way of explaining is different. So obviously my communication was different at Jabalpur. But when I gone to Jhabua, when I have gone to Indore, when I was in Damoh, the dialect was totally different. The communication was totally different, and none of them, including in Jabalpur, none of them were speaking in real Hindi, which we call nowadays. It is a Sanskritized Hindi. It is more over in a Sanskrit rather than Hindi. But even a simple Hindi, no one is talking in a simple Hindi. Even if I am from Punjab. Feel I did my MBBS in Punjabi, then it will be very difficult for me to come out of Punjab. And even when I am talking to a Punjabi people, their terminologies are very different. Uh, like even abdomen pain. So in abdomen pain, they explain कि भाई कॉर्मो और ये हो रहे हैं. Corm, or these are the local. Everyone have their local way of explaining. So so what these things are only learned while you are practicing. When you are into practice, you talk to your local public, you learn these things and understand these things, and after that, you treat them. But I don't think that these things should be, yes, doctor patient relationship, doctor patient communication, very important. And there is always being in a discussion that a communication classes or communication discussions must be done, and that is a different thing, and that can be done in a local language also, that you can train a doctor how to communicate with the patient in a local language. That can also be done. But when it comes to a science of medicine, about the medicine, it should be in a universal language, which is nowadays it's in English.
Yeah. So the key point that emerges here is that while doctors themselves are learning, the language should be something that the entire world probably understands in a better way. But while you are interacting with the patients, that the communication can always evolve. Now, the
No,
point that
basically, I'll just interrupt you. See, those who argue for this aspect that the patients don't understand what the doctors say, let me tell you what they don't understand is the medical terminology which is used. And that
Mhm.
terminology itself, if you see in this Hindi version, they have
Is
just,
also in English.
they have not translated it. They have just used like liver is as liver only.
Yeah,
Okay,
artery
Yadu
is
to
artery only.
Yakrut.
Yes,
Ah,
only the grammar is
yeah.
proper.
So the words that the patients don't understand, they have not converted it into the local language. You are using the same words. So I don't think that really argument really holds water.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also because like both of you are saying, India being such a diverse country with so many languages, so many, we don't really have a national language, though Hindi is spoken in a large part of the country, but there is no
and the
one.
and the and the max and the main challenge is that the nomenclatures, the definitions, they are not something which is made by one person or by a one area. These definitions, nomenclature, the whole medicine evolved out of the discussion from around the world. Like
Mhm.
WHO gives nomenclatures, even the other World Health Organizations, other health organizations, even our associations like diabetic associations, they give the definitions, they give the nomenclature. So you can't just make your nomenclature in Hindi.
In
It is
Hindi,
not
right?
possible. So you have
Yeah.
to use the same thing. And the only thing is they
So
just
it's
want
scientific,
to
it's
promote
very
Devanagari.
technical, so it has to be adopted like that. It's very technical,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes, yes.
True. So, one last question before we wrap up this conversation, and I would like to hear from both of you on this. So, at least you would agree, Dr. Utture, that there should be an option for those who want it. Maybe there would be doctors who want to work in their local communities. They want to learn Hindi and probably do their work there in the places where they have been born and brought up and studied. So at least that option should be there, even if it's not imposed or made mandatory. What's your thought on that?
Yeah, that option can be there, but what, as I said, that it was, this was brought out in such a hurry. But basically, I feel, this decision should have been backed by both scientific and by legal facts, which was
Hmm.
not done. Number one, the stakeholders were not taken into consideration at all to try to find out a curriculum. Simple example I will give you: NMC gives the curriculum as far as your medical education is concerned. Now imagine MNMC trying to give a curriculum in Hindi in the north, in say Tamil in the south, in Marathi in Maharashtra, Gujarati. That is not possible at all. And another practical aspect you have to understand is today healthcare has not become a single person domain. Okay, it is a teamwork which is there, and when you
Hmm.
have to interact with the team, how do you know? Maybe that nursing staff may have come from some other place, and if she does not understand Hindi, how are you going to communicate with her and tell her
Happens more
exactly what
often
to do?
than not. You have multiple people in a team who come from different regions and different backgrounds.
Yeah, so that is basically. And another aspect you have to understand is now they are talking about a global village concept all over. So when you talk about a global village, you have to have a global language, and today you accept it or you don't accept it, English is the global language in which it is accepted all over the world over there. So not only that, in India itself now, like the government wants to start an AIMS in every state. Now suppose I have taken in the north, I have taken my education in Hindi, and there is an AIMS, say, suppose in Kerala or in Tamil Nadu. So will I be able to take up that job? It's going to be very difficult for me to take up that job. So not only that, simple, I mean, since I was in NMC, I'll tell you, our examiners, when we give the exam, come from different states. They're supposed to be from out of states, so that there is transparency in the exam. So imagine you doing in Hindi and an examiner coming from say some other, say, Andhra or something. And how is he going to take your exam in Hindi? That means again your examiners have to be from your local place. So where does the transparency remain? So all these practical aspects should have been taken into consideration, before trying to bring this into. I'm not saying that it should not be brought, but there has to be a scientific way of doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good points there. Dr. Bhatti, your thoughts now.
Yes, yes. I think that this imposing Hindi is totally a political thing. I don't see any rationale of doing this, and I think this is the most stupid thing to do, because because after 12th, they are just child, means they are kids, and what option you want to give to kids should be backed by science. It should not be something which is backed only by politics. So,
Mhm.
as sir said, that the stakeholder was not taken into confidence. No discussion was made that how this curriculum will be made. There is nothing. Just they want to copy paste, translate that anatomy. They have not even written that Sharir Rachna. They written anatomy in Devanagari anatomy. So, and you are telling this that I am giving this option to a young person who don't know anything about medical profession. They just want to become a doctor, but they don't know the process of becoming a doctor, that what difficulties they will face if they are only doing it MBBS in Hindi or in a
Mhm.
local language. So they will be cut off from the world. They are not able to present their paper to international public platforms. They are not able to read journals from international platforms. Means they are cut off from everything, and just because I have given them the option after 12th class. So I think this option should stop. There is no need of it. There must be a one language. Don't call it that the curriculum is in English. Just call it as medicine. Medicine itself is enough because it has many languages. Medicine itself is multilinguistic. So just we can use that. And I don't think there is any rationale of doing going into Hindi.
So the larger thing that emerges out of this conversation is that probably it is putting barriers rather than breaking barriers and democratizing medicine for everybody, right? So let's see. It will be interesting to see how NMC takes it forward and how students in the later years receive it. But thank you so much, Dr. Utture and Dr. Bhatti, for making this possible today. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks.
Thank you.